Welcome to DBL. Stephanie Jones joining us.
Yes.
When you're with us, also on Tori Shulman's birthday.
What?
Happy birthday!
Is it your birthday?
It is my birthday. I'm 42. Very proud because aging is a privilege that we all don't get to have. And I saw you were wearing a sash. I have a birthday sash, so it's a big day.
Maybe the most embarrassing thing you could do.
And I'm going to do a birthday jig sometime during the
Second
broadcast.
most embarrassing thing you could do.
I'm very
Stick
excited.
around. Oh, I can't
Stick
wait.
around.
It's
You
gonna
don't
be
know
a
when.
surprise.
So-
I'm very excited.
Me
Will you be
too.
wearing said sash
I
during
will be.
the jig?
I will be. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
All
love
right.
it. So
Somebody
nobody's
be
watching.
ready off stage to throw the sash on her when jig comes to the table.
That's right. I
All
love
right,
it.
all right. Let's begin because this is actually very important, and I know a lot of families watching fentanyl has affected you. So we're going to begin with Jelly Roll, the rapper and country music star. Well, he was on Capitol Hill testifying in front of Congress, appealing to them to do more to tackle America's fentanyl crisis. Take a look.
190 people a day overdose and die every single day in the United States of America. That is about a 737 plane. That's what about a 737 aircraft can carry. Could you imagine the national media attention it would get if they were reporting that a plane was crashing every single day and killing 190 people? But because it's 190 drug addicts, we don't feel that way. Because America has been known to bully and shame drug addicts, instead of dealing and trying to understand what the actual root of the problem is with that.
Wow, he is right. He called to lawmakers, or on lawmakers rather, to pass the Fend Off Fentanyl Act. So this is what it does. It will target Chinese chemical suppliers and Mexican drug cartels who traffic the drug. Okay, so Tori, you do have some additional information for us. Are his facts right?
Right, the CDC was fact-checking this. Over 150 people do die every day from an overdose from synthetic opioids like fentanyl. He's right on the money there. Just so you guys know, in 2021, when it was really bad, it's 67,325 fentanyl overdose deaths in the year. That's 184 a day. So he's right on the money with that.
As a parent, Jeff, what are you thinking?
So much going on, and this is such an extended conversation. It's hard to wrap up in 5 minutes with all of us talking, but for me, again, I sound like a conspiracy, I believe in all these conspiracy theories, but it starts with the government, right? And that's not a conspiracy theory. They get people hooked on their drugs, right? And it starts with the government letting that go through. They know it's addictive. We've all seen the documentaries. And then when it gets to the streets and your doctor starts cutting you off because he's doing the ethical thing, you're already addicted to it. And that's when the cartels step in. We know it's coming from China. We know they're delivering it to Mexico. Now our borders are... It's pretty easy to get through our borders, okay? Right now, people are flooding into our country, which means drugs are coming into our country. And if we cut that off, at least we'd cut off there's always going to be drugs. We're never going to stop it. But there's a lot of people to blame that are making a lot of money that are never going to stop this, addiction. And it's something I think that we're stuck with forever, unfortunately, in the United States.
And agreed. Everybody, please chime in. But I do want to show this first because when I was looking at how this went viral, a lot of the comments were saying, why Jelly Roll?
Right.
He's a convicted drug dealer. He actually spoke to that, and I want you guys to watch this.
Equally, I think it's important for me to tell y'all that I'm not here to defend the use of illegal drugs. And I also understand the paradox of my history as a drug dealer standing in front of this committee. But equally, I think that's what makes me perfect to talk about this. I was a part of the problem. I am here now standing as a man that wants to be a part of the solution. I brought my community down. I hurt people. I was the uneducated man in the kitchen playing chemist with drugs I knew absolutely nothing about, just like these drug dealers are doing right now when they're mixing every drug on the market with fentanyl, and they're killing the people we love.
Al, thoughts?
It's so interesting. You know, I started thinking about, Jeff, they'll have a movie about a casino, or just like we've heard about people that count cards that get caught trying to rip off casinos. And you know what casinos do? They hire them to figure out how they did that. And it's because the person that can rip off the casino, who is better to talk about how what they were doing was not only wrong, but how they can stop that? who better than somebody who's literally been addicted to those drugs and sold those drugs and know what the people that buy those drugs, what their homes look like, what their situations look like, than somebody that's lived in those communities. Sorry, a Hollywood actor, myself, I'm not going to really know all about that, but he would. But unfortunately, because we are about aesthetics in this country, somebody that looks like that, his credibility is somehow marred because he decided to decorate his face with tattoos. And I think until we figure out that people that don't necessarily look like a senator have something important to say, we can't move forward. I think Steph, Jelly Roll has a lot to say, and I think we should listen to him. But then after he says it, we have to really question ourselves about how we are going to act on that. Because as soon as we try and act, that means that we are going to have to get politicians involved. And when I watched that documentary, Crime of the Century, I watched Rudy Giuliani in front of Congress using the phrase over and over again, it is Americans' right to decide their pain threshold. Using it as they were taking your freedom away by saying you can't get 500 opioid pills. And they made it political, and nothing was done. And here we are in 2024. So we are to blame because we are putting those people in Congress that is allowing the deregulation of those drugs. There's a reason that they were not around, and then all of a sudden rappers are rapping about it. It's a hook in a popular music song. It's because Percocet had flooded the market so much that everybody knew what it was.
Well, speaking of rappers, what do you think it is, Steph, about Jelly Roll that appeals to both sides?
Well, I think, first of all, he's one of the few people that has seen both sides of the coin and literally has lived this story. He was arrested over 40 times by the time he was 22 years old. And the mother of his young teenage daughter is a drug addict. And he says he waits every day. Is that phone call going to come? Am I going to have to tell my daughter she's lost her mother to yet another statistic that we're doing very little about? So I think, and when he speaks, he's captivating, he's authentic.
He's very good at speaking.
He means what he says. And he, you know, because of his criminal convictions, he hasn't got a political tie because he can't vote.
And can I just jump in real quick? Guess who he was speaking in front of? It wasn't just any committee. That's the U.S. Senate Banking Committee.
Do you think that they were interested, though? Because before, and I know we have to go, but quickly, I want to show you some senators very interested. Others, it almost looked like that they were like planning their day, or they were somehow did not believe him because of the stigma of the tattoos. Quickly.
Very quickly, I think what he said was right. Senator Kennedy, for instance, it's become political, and there's money involved now. So the reason he went to the U.S. Banking Committee, in case you're confused, is he needs money to go to the Fend Off Fentanyl Act. So they might look like that, but that issue is affecting each and every one of their constituents.
Yes.
They don't care about the constituents.
They do. If they want to get reelected, they absolutely do. So I don't care what they were looking like. I want to know if they put their money in the pockets.
We'll have to wait and see. Kudos to Jelly Roll.